Hey, what's up? My name is MC WhiteOwl, at MC WhiteOwl on Twitter, mcwhiteowl.com. I'm a New Yorker. I'm from Westchester, New York, Greenburgh to be exact. Grew up with a lot of people that were constantly around hip-hop. Hip-hop was the first music I ever fell in love with, about 1986. Like most hip-hoppers, just heard it, saw it partially, couldn't believe what I was seeing and hearing. First music that ever talked to me, gave me an education, filled me on some of the political things that were happening in the world and some things that were happening in school. Just gave me a really good feel for what was actually happening, and from then on I just was addicted to it. One of my favorite hip hop memories for myself is from 94 to 99. I was just always struggling, making music, digging, making beats. I had an MPC 2000 for that period of time. And in 98, when I got out of school, my wife and I were still together. Well, we worked together back then, and she wanted me to get a job. I got a job. I was working for shitty money at a recording studio, and my wife was saying to me one day, if you really are serious about music and you want to make beats and you want to be a producer and an MC, show me something that somebody would actually want of yours. My wife's a fan of mine, and I think she thought I was better as a DJ. So I produced something, and one night she fell asleep in my apartment in the city, and I didn't play it for her. And the next morning I played it for myself. It was a sample, a reggae sample. I went out onto the street the next day, turned on the radio in the car, and there was that beat on the radio. Basically 1 BPM sped up, flipped a little different, chopped a little bit different, but the same sample. And I remember thinking, damn, I am on the right track. Like, there's the radio, that's a major station, whichever one it was in New York at the time, there's only 2, and there's my song. And then I knew, I'm like, I gotta keep doing this, I can't never stop. From 1990 to 1994, in the New York public school system, it was very hard to get honest opinions from teachers, honest opinions from staff. Going to a racially diverse school and hearing elders speak and trying to be a respectful member of society, but also knowing that something's wrong in society, and then hearing groups like X-Clan, Public Enemy, Brand Nubian, P-Rock and CL Smooth, people that were honest about society. That, to me, was the news that I got. So to hear the truth on the box, or to hear the truth on MTV Raps, and then go to school and try to question what was happening and realize, well, wait a minute, Columbus didn't discover America, if they can't even get facts right from a week ago, and the press can't get facts right from 4 weeks ago, how do I know that anything that I've ever done or any of my experiences are built on anything in reality? And then you dig deeper, and hip-hop was always the message to that. So for me, it's mad offensive that a lot of these fucking kids nowadays, excuse my language, want to talk about, the things that they do in hip-hop, and that's all hip-hop some of these people has become. Because it had nothing to do with all those things back in the day. It was an educational method to encode words and encode things to teach people about peace, harmony, love, the Bronx, Africa Bambaataa, Zulu Nation, DJ Kool Herc. They weren't talking about let's get together and fight and shoot people and sell crack. New Rochelle had Madison's, which is Marty and Lenny's. Marty and Lenny's is a real name. And before that, it was even something else. And all the Westchester groups used to go there, Heavy D and the Boys. Again, P-Rock and CL Smooth, Brand Nubian. Then you had the places in the city in Manhattan that only fit 300 and 400 people. To see Rakim live right there, up close, or to see Wu-Tang live with not many people is an amazing thing. And I've never personally been to the bigger concerts. Biggest hip-hop concert I've ever been to, dopest concert by far, Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick at MSG. Crazy, they opened up for Chris Rock. But to see 400 people staring at Rakim is mind-blowing. Or to be in a room with the Fugees for 300 people and this guy DJ Spider, who I don't even know if he was their DJ or not, but the stuff he did, you just murdered it. And right up close and personal, I saw Buster in front of 400 people. Amazing, just a great performer, makes me proud to be part of hip-hop. Palladium back in the day, I'm 37 years old from New York. That was my spot, man. If you couldn't get in there, you missed so many amazing shows. It's not even funny. I was a DJ at the Wetlands in New York City, Concrete Jungle, the hip-hop DJ from parts of 99, parts of 2000, parts of 2001. That was a crazy place to be. A lot of good acts came through there. People grab the mic and just do whatever they want, and they let you do it. And that needs to be put back into hip-hop now, the spur-of-the-moment stuff. More of a family-friendly vibe. I saw Third Base and Tribe Called Quest live in concert. Third Base came out on stage. DJ Daddy Rich behind the turntables at the Capitol Theater in Portchester. So good, so commanding of the entire stage. Murdered it, and then Tribe Called Quest came out after. And Ali Shaheed Muhammad on the turntables, and the whole Tribe Called Quest, what they were, obviously what Third Base was, the whole show, but both DJs, so powerful, and the MCs, just that whole thing. From then on, I'm just addicted, man. I was a DJ first, and I was a DJ in the New York City clubs from 98 to 2005, and I used to rhyme while I DJ'd if I could, which sometimes was looked down upon, but I was starting to rhyme serious in about 94, and I just constantly tell everybody about it, try to grab the mic wherever you are. Passing out tapes, passing out CDs, and being out as a DJ was always a good way to get everybody on to that. First turntable I had was a belt drive piece of junk, Sanyo, I think. And then I got another belt drive from my cousin, was a bar owner and a bartender and owned a small portion of a bar, and I think was the bouncer there. And he gave me an EQ and another belt drive. So I had two belt drives and an EQ. This is about this is about 87. I had no slip mats. I was like 11 years old and I cut the paper out. Then I had a third turntable, which was my parents' also a belt drive. So I had three, but one bad Radio Shack mixer. But Radio Shack mixers, if anybody knows, you couldn't change the fader. So I'd constantly spray WD-40 in there. And then eventually that ate out and I got a Gemini mixer. Then I finally got Techniques I saved up from when I was about 14, which would be about 1989, 90. They were so good. To first get Techniques and feel them and to have them not skip and to know that I was working on the junky ones all that time was just like amazing. You know, I had a lot of DJs at my school that I would see at dances and whatnot, but they never let you touch the turntables. So my family has always been real cool about it. Mom and dad and I have a brother. Everybody real supportive. Even my brother-in-law, who's now my brother-in-law, has been getting like mixtapes since 1989, 90. So it's like a big joke in my family. I used to have a different name, so they would get them under that name. So, and that name was terrible. And of course, you know, you give out mixtapes and people want more mixtapes and you make them to fit, and then you have the terrible drops on them. Best mixtape store ever, Burkina Music had DJ WhiteOwl mixtapes from me in the store since 97, so I'm happy to say that, and God bless. Keeping up with the ability to be heard, how to get heard, how to choose wisely. Anybody could go out once or twice or 3 nights a week and get wasted and politic with people, but to actually get heard, to have people listen to you, comment, feedback, the whole bit, that's been a struggle. I have been on tour for, not for a long time, but for, you know, brief periods of time where I perform for large crowds, and it's an amazing feeling to be able to share music with people. I have an amazing record collection, so being out at night in clubs is always a pride point, you know, being able to share with 500 people records they never heard before. And also, you know, being someone who rhymes in front of a large group and just to feel that pride is huge. I mean, that's the best part of music, is sharing it. The legacy that I would like to leave behind is that anyone can make music, anyone can make art. I'm trying to make something that matters and to try to impress myself constantly. If you're not making music for yourself that you love, what would be the point of making it? So my imprint is to try to make myself happy, and I've struggled with that for a while, and, you know, continue to make myself happy, continue to grow as an artist.